everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Becca and today we're going to be taking you through one of our very favorite recipes that we've had so many times, our plant-based burritos. We have perfected this over time and it is so delicious. There's so many good things in it like potatoes and black beans and guacamole that you won't even miss the meat and cheese or anything, I swear. So let's get started. We like to start the night before by soaking some black beans. And then in the morning, you give them a nice rinse, pop them in your Instant Pot, and then you have nice fresh black beans. I will leave a full description on how to do this down in the description box below. Alternatively, you can also use a can of black beans. My problem with that is 1, they're not quite as good, and 2, I have a tricky time deciding if 1 can is too little or 2 cans is too much. So you can decide what works best for you. Then you add your spices. I never measure these. This recipe is very forgiving. So I just add about a tablespoon of cumin, some fresh onion or powdered onion, either works just fine, some garlic powder or fresh garlic, a couple of sprinkles of chili powder, a couple of sprinkles of smoked paprika, a couple of sprinkles of pepper, 2 bay leaves, and then set it to sealed on manual for 8 minutes, and then let it go. And there you have nice, delicious, fresh black beans. We're going to start by prepping the potatoes. You can wash them and then cube them into small squares. The smaller you get them, the faster and better they'll cook. You'll also want to go ahead and turn your oven on to about 220 degrees Celsius. We like to parboil them, so we add them to a small pot with some already warm water. And then once it's brought up to a boil them for about 5 minutes. This helps them get crispier and also just cook better in the oven. It also helps you not need the oven quite as long. I highly recommend having a small child to help you prep all your veggies. While those are going, you can start preparing your other veggies. So for your red onion, you can cut half of it into strips. And then for the smaller half, you can dice it up into small little bits. And those will go into the guacamole. After the 5 minutes are up, you'll strain them to get all the water off, and then you can place them into the pan that you're going to cook them in. That was too much oil. Dump half of that off. Add a little bit of oil to a pan, and then coat them with some smoked paprika. Again, don't measure it, just sprinkle it on until it looks good. Add a little bit of garlic powder and some salt and pepper. Toss or stir to mix them all up. These are a work of art. Place them in the oven for about 25 minutes. Go ahead and get yourself a new bell pepper. We like to use 2 capsicums of different colors just to make it look prettier. So just core it and then cut them into strips and then set those aside. To your skillet, add just a little bit of oil, and then you can start sauteing up your sliced red onions. While those are sauteing, you can start making the guacamole. So open up your avocado, see if it's a perfect one. Almost. Place it in a bowl, and do as you do with all guacamoles. You mash it with a fork. Add in a fair amount of salt because we like our salt over here. Squeeze in half of a juicy lime. And then your diced red onion that you had set aside. Give it a good mix and done. So if you made that fast enough, then your red onions should be perfectly sauteed right about now. So add in your stripped capsicum. Give it a good stir. So Billy's usually the one that makes this meal and he's the one that's making it today. I'm just here to film the process and narrate. Once your capsicums are getting a little bit soft, then what you'll do is add your 2 cups of black beans to the skillet. Give it a good stir, and then add the other half of your juicy lime, and then add all of your spices. So a few cracks of salt and pepper just to taste. It's about half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of chili powder if you like it a little bit spicy. As you're cooking it, it might get a little bit dry. If that's the case, just add a little splash of water to make it juicy again. This meal smells so good while you're making it. By this point, it should all be done, so go ahead and set that aside. Check on your potatoes.
The most important part is the second salting.
For the last 5 minutes, we like to turn it up to broil to make them really nice and crispy and brown. Oh, look at those. This is beauty. Probably the best part of the meal right here. Literal goodness. So once everything's done, you just put it in a tortilla. Go ahead and layer it up. All 3 of the different things you just made.
I always use Coley's hot sauce and aioli.
Billy likes to put some aioli in his. I don't think it adds anything to it. Up to you. Just roll it up in your tortilla and then place it in the hot skillet so that you can toast it up. You know, this might not be the most appealing looking thing, but it is so good. So good. I cannot tell you enough how much we love this meal and how many times a week we have it because it's a lot. Secret tip here, add the edge of the wrap onto the bottom of the skillet because then it sears it closed, like so. Look at that. It makes the burrito experience so much superior. Oh, that one's not done. So once they're toasted up to perfection, feel free to eat. We cut it in half to try to show you the beautiful insides, but they don't look so beautiful. But they do taste so beautiful, so that's what really matters here. Sometimes if we have them on hand, we'll also just dice up some tomatoes and have with it, or if we're feeling a little bit healthier, sometimes we will also add some chopped spinach or lettuce. This is just me holding my burritos like a bouquet of flowers. Well, there you have it. Here are our simple, delicious burritos. All the ingredients on it are just so like fresh and good and filling and perfect. If you're interested in some more of our life or some more food inspiration, then feel free to follow me on Instagram if you want. But yeah, we're gonna go and enjoy these burritos now. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.